All right, I think I'm live. Let's go. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I just want to make sure everything is good. And I'm pretty sure I'm live. And I think now I just go live on my Instagram, which is cool. So I can go live on Instagram. We are live everywhere. I think I'm live somewhere on my Facebook. Let's go. All right, cool. Let's freaking go. I'm so glad you guys are here. We are live. We are here. And I'm glad to see people kind of come on in here into the live if they're coming in. So I see people are starting to come in. People are on YouTube. Let's see if people are on Facebook. Let's get it. I'm glad that you guys are here. I appreciate y'all being here. It means the absolute world that you are here. I think I'm just live on my regular Facebook, which is great. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't even really care. So glad to be there. I'm pretty sure I am. Cool. So what's up, everybody? All right, we've got everything rocking and rolling. I know it was taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would because I'm on this new StreamYard platform and it's kind of cool, but I'm gonna let people kind of like get in here. I think most people are going to come from most people are going to come from Instagram. I'm gonna see a lot of people on Instagram, hopefully. And then yo, Manny, what's up, homie? Good to see you, man. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, everybody out here. Let's go. All right. So we are going to get started here soon. I'm back on here and I want to, yeah, cool. Back on YouTube because I love checking it out where people are coming in because YouTube is where the chat is. That's where I got the chat at. So if you guys join up in YouTube, then that's where the chat is. That's great. It's cool that you can actually do this on Instagram as well. Like go live with my camera on Instagram. So I'll take it. If you are in YouTube, if you're on the chat, I would love for you to let me know. Say, hey, yo, Anthony, let's go, homie. Yo, I'm so glad you're here, bro. Let's go. All right, pumped. All right, so I'm pumped that people are here. I'm glad you're here. We're going to dive in. Honestly, there's no use to wasting a ton of time. We're going to dive in today because we've got a lot of things to cover. I really want to take a look at one. I'll let you know exactly what we're going to cover, but we're gonna dive into. Ooh, let me switch this up. We're gonna dive into some of the. I know a lot of times we talk about creative financing and things like that. So I want to dive into that with us. I want to dive into talking to sellers. We're going to talk about getting like really cheap leads and all those things. I'm going to give it like another minute for people to come in here as I also fix something that, there we go. Perfect. All right, cool. So good to see you, man. So good to see you. Glad we are here and I'm glad I'm up there. So perfect. All right, let's go. I'm actually going to share my screen and we're going to dive into that. The only bad thing, man, I for some reason this app is like messing up all of my. I have to like be very quick to share the screen. All right, there it goes. Boom. Wow, that was close. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and dive in then. It's good to see you guys here. I'm so glad you guys are here. Anthony, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you being here. It means the absolute world, man. And let me see. Is this it? Is this the one we're diving into today? This is indeed. This is indeed. Let me make sure that you guys can all see this correct. Sharing that. Perfect. All right, cool. Good. It's good to see everybody here. Super thankful that you guys are here. Super excited. We are going to dive into how to find deeply discounted deals and build generational wealth. Ultimately, that's what a lot of us want. If we're honest, that's what a lot of us want. We want to build generational wealth. We want to have we want to get deeply discounted properties. That's why we're here. So we're going to dive into that right about now. All right. So yes, this is live, by the way. Anthony, I'm glad you're here. This is live. So anybody that's in the chat, please let me know. Put a thumbs up or ask questions. I will kind of, as we go, I may ask, who knows, but I'm glad you guys are here. So definitely I want to see where you guys are coming from and all those things. So yes, this is live too. This is not a recording. It is 7:35 p.m. On November 27th. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Let's freaking go. I hope you guys are enjoying time with your family. Probably a lot of you guys are traveling, and that's okay. But okay, today, who is today's training for? One, it's going to be brand new people looking for their first properties. So this is going to be for you. If you're here and you're looking for your first property, this could be for you. If you work a W-2 and you're looking to invest to grow monthly income, this also could be for you. This is a great place for you to be. If you're looking to grow monthly income and invest, you have a W-2, you got money you could put into it. People looking to take retirement into their own hands, this is for you. We're going to talk a lot about that today. And then current investors looking to scale without the pressure of raising capital. This is also for you, but then also if you want to raise capital, we'll talk all about that as well. But this is for anybody across the board. We're going to talk about scaling. We're going to talk about refining. We're going to talk about starting. And that's a big deal for today because this fits just about anybody. And you'll see we position this to do that. Now, here's one thing that I think about a lot. I think about this so much, and probably you guys think about this too as you begin to either invest into real estate or just kind of go in life, is like debt is getting crazy. Did you guys know that we just reached an all-time high in credit card debt, which is so crazy because when you think about it, all you hear all the time is, oh, like the economy is doing well, or even like, oh, people are spending money, which is fantastic. Like, sure, that stuff is happening, but it's because people are using a lot of credit card debt. So there's so much debt in this country that people aren't able to save. And what's happening is, yeah, I am recording this. Both, Anthony. I'm going to say it's both. It's both. We're going to dive into a lot. You want to get the pen and paper out, but I am also recording this. But there also will be, I will send this recording out to you later as well. But we want you to stick around for this because I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. But also inflation takes a huge bite out of savings, right? Because we have to worry about, I geek out about this stuff. We have to worry about, honestly, inflation outperforming the value of the dollar, right? Because of inflation, because like we're losing, they say it's 2%, but it's 4 to 5% a year. And really, if you put your money in the S&P 500 or whatever, that's growing at 4 to 5% a year. And then if you've got fees and all those things with the people that are holding your money and investing your money, you're actually losing when it comes to compared to inflation. So how do you hedge against that? How do you make sure that you can actually keep some sort of savings? Because I've seen 401ks get absolutely demolished these last couple of years. Now, we did have a nice little bull run recently, and so that does help. But how do you hedge against those things happening? I want to be able to talk through that and figure that out so we can kind of so we can work through that together, because there's not enough money that for people now and for later. Did you guys know the national average for somebody to live comfortably in America for a single person, $96,000 to live comfortably, right? Comfortably, or $235,000 as a household. In Charlotte, where I live, the average household has to be around $206,000 to live comfortably. $206,000 a year for the average household in Charlotte, where the average home price is $435,000 in Charlotte. And so everywhere you go, I think the lowest average is like 180,000 for the average household in Charlotte to live comfortably. 1 in 3 Americans have $0 saved for retirement. $0 saved for retirement, which is tough. It's hard. It's hard when you have needs that you need to meet because you can't reach the comfortable salary average in the country. It's hard when you're relying on a 401k that takes a massive hit because of an economy. It's hard when you don't have that money to save because you have to live on it or you have to draw it early. So people don't have that money to save. Now, tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to find the right properties for you guys absolutely free. Absolutely free. I don't want you wasting money on all of this stuff. I'm going to show you the exact conversations that you need to have with these sellers to be able to get these houses under contract. I'm going to show you creative financing strategies that help you in any market to be able to get low interest rates, to be able to cash flow, to be able to get the things that you want, and the reason why you would want real estate. I'm going to show you how to leverage your W-2 to create wealth and additional income for you and your family. And I'm going to show you how to create a business that cash flows and helps you to establish and build that wealth. So we're going to walk through a lot of that stuff today, and we're going to walk through the premise of it. Now, when we go back to this, I think of this, and the reason why this is like hit so hard home for me is because I grew up, and a lot of people don't know this. Some people know this about me, but I grew up in LA with a mom who worked really, really hard. I say she's the true triple-double mom with three jobs, 2 kids. She's incredible, the best mom that you can imagine. Worked super hard to make sure we have what we needed. But unfortunately, a lot of times, right, she wasn't able to leave me with like assets. Right, she didn't know how to invest into real estate at the time. She didn't leave with like stocks or anything like that. I had to go, all right, I'm going to change the trajectory of my life. I'm going to change the trajectory of my family's life. I'm going to change the lineage of my life. So I dove into real estate. I learned about Fresno. All right, I'm from LA. Nice, man. So I dove into real estate to learn those things. Now, I want the same for you guys. And so I'm all in. If you guys are here, I'm committed to be able to like spend as much time chopping this stuff up with you guys as I possibly can. I'm all in. I want you to be committed as well. And so how about your commitment? I don't want you to be committed to me. I want you to be committed to you and your family. As Vin Diesel say, no matter what happens, you don't turn your back on family, right? Like we're in here for our family. We're like the people that are here on this live are here because you want to secure your family's future. You want to learn about real estate. You want to learn how you can get in, how you can build that generational wealth, how you can pass these things down to your kids, how you could change the trajectory of your life. And so in the next 1 to 2 hours, depending on how long this goes, I'd probably be around like an hour and some change. Yo, man, all in. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Let's go. We're going to talk about how to invest without having to worry about how to raise like a huge amount of capital, how to find free deals in any market. Yo, Amanda, good to see you. So excited. So glad that you're here. We're going to talk about how to talk to sellers and feel comfortable in any conversation with them, and then creative financing strategies for you all that could change everything for you. I can't spell, but that is okay. That is me and who I am, which is great. Like that should be promising for you guys. You don't need to learn how to know how to spell to get into real estate and do what I'm doing. So we're going to dive into this. Now, this is my commitment to you. Okay. I don't know why I put this slide on here, but that's just who I am. I'm going to make sure that by the time you leave this today, by the time you have enough information that if you actually want to go out and do it, you could create $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of income per month. Like you can do it. I promise you, because like we do it. I will show you that we do it. I'm going to give you the success blueprint on how from home with just a laptop, from work, with a side screen as you work over here, wherever you are, you can do this. I promise. Because like I did, if you know me, I'm nothing special. If I could do it, you could do it. So my commitment to you is to walk away with that. But now there's more. Like if you guys stay here, I'm also going to give you my free calculator. So like what you could do is you can actually put the houses in here, right? You put the houses in here, you put some comps in here, it'll tell you what to offer people so that you know that you have a good deal. It's not a crappy deal. You're not losing out. You're not losing money. You guys are making a good deal that will actually make you some money. So this is my gift to you. So I want to make sure that those are here for the long run. Get this gift. So I appreciate you guys. This is something that I could sell. I love to give this for people who are actually want to do this business and actually want to learn without losing money on bad deals. So this is going to be for you if you guys stick around. So I'm here for you if you guys are here. Now, you got to listen up here. This is true. This is not going to be a get rich quick overnight pill. Like this is not a magic pill for getting rich quick. This is not what this is. This is going to take hard work. It is going to take a lot of work for you. Actually, it's not a like do no work and make this money type of thing. Like you are going to have to put in the work, but I'm going to help you. Like I promise you, I am going to help you to do this. I will handhold, walk you through this. That is my commitment to you. If you don't really want to be successful and change your life, then this isn't for you, because real estate is one of those things that you think about it and you think it's hard, but it's much easier than you think it is. I promise. So we'll dive into that today. Ultimately, you get into real estate for two reasons. You have two buckets, right? You have like the buckets of getting paid now. And people typically just think of like the later bucket where it's like, I want that passive income. I want the appreciation that when you go through COVID again and the house prices double, like that's what you want. And you can get that, and that's great, but you also got to pay the bills now. You also want to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month now. You also want to have contracts now that then help you to be able to have a living, and if you want to, build a business. But if you don't want to, then heck, you do 2 or 3 houses a year at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, then like you've made probably your previous year's salary. That is very, very doable. 3 houses a year is like extremely doable. So I want to help you to get there, because like we do 15 a month. So 3 a year is like, let's freaking do this. I got you. Okay. So I'm glad you're here. Now, some of you may think like real estate, and this may be you. You feel overwhelmed and you're unsure on how to start investing into real estate. Or you're wondering how to evaluate properties and you're like, is this a good one? Is this a bad one? And some of you honestly may be in a real estate company and you're struggling to go from like that beginner phase or even that like intermediate phase up to the next level to where you know like it's dialed in, you're consistently closing deals, you have a team that's helping you to do it. You guys are streamlined and you're making it happen. So a lot of you are one of those 3 ways. Hey, Hey, you know what? Actually, if you're any of these, put number one if you kind of are like, I don't know where to start. Number two, if you're like, I don't know if this is a good deal. Or number three, if you're like, I'm trying to get to the next level. So I'm going to kind of go on, but like, I would love to see in the chat a 1, 2, or 3, depending on where you are, just so I have an idea of like who's here. Now, I've got a couple chats here. I don't know where my Facebook chat is. Like, don't know where that is. I see the Instagram here. Nice. 3, man. I like, yes, let's go. Anthony, 3. Let's go. And then there's some people here that are 1s and 2s that I know are on this call because I see who's joined and who's stuck around. So I know some of you guys are 1s or 2s and you're just too shy to say it, and that's okay. But this is for you as well. And so I'm really excited that you guys are here. So this is great. Sweet. 3, hey, 2.5. Yo, my man Eric up there in Seattle, he's out there flipping houses. I love it. He's dealing with crazy squatters. 2.5. I love that, man. So what happens if you solve all of those problems? This is my goal today, is to help you to take complete control of your life, for you to have like to master these strategies to give you a genuine results, to break through mental barriers. Because a lot of times these are just mental barriers. You think, dang, I can't do this. Yo, 4 this year, but I'm trying to get to 15. Man, we'll get you to 15. I got you. We'll get you to 15. That's great, man. Gain confidence that like, hey, I can talk to these sellers. I know exactly where to go to get these leads. I know what to do here. I know what to do there. Or the peace of mind to secure your retirement. That's the goal for like, this should cover the gamut. This should help just about everybody across the board. And so now a lot of times you hear about these gurus. The good thing is like a lot of people that are on these calls right now know that I'm not like a fake guru. So if you guys like ever go into these things and there's these gurus, you should call them out. You should totally be like, hey, prove it. I need some evidence. So I'm going to show you some evidence really quick. These are deals that we've actually done. These are deals in Charlotte. You can actually, look up these addresses. You'll see like our name on the title, on the deal of like the previous owners before we sold them. We've done deals that have gotten us $100,000, $113,000 profit, $87,000 profit. And you can actually see this thing is like what's called a HUD. It's a settlement statement that shows how much we made. Or even this one. This is our biggest one ever. This one, we made $181,000 profit on this, and we didn't even flip it. Like literally didn't. We didn't. That's not true. We spent $2,000 cleaning it out, and then we sold it to somebody else, and we made that much money on it. Now I'm going to show you, because this was a deal that we got a foreclosure on. These people made a ton of money too, but then like the house needed a ton of work. And so that's why they sold it for so cheap. They sold it for $419. We sold it for $600. And then they sold it to us for $419. We sold it for $600. And then we made that profit on only just like a $2,000 clean out. They had a lot of motivation, and we're going to talk about that today. So who am I? Just for those that are here, there's a lot of people that do know me. So I'm just going to kind of like go through this a little bit. I'm a Christian father, foster dad, and husband. Full-time real estate investor since 2021, and some of you have known me since before then. I'm recognized as a leader in one of the real estate masterminds that I'm in, and it's probably one of the bigger ones in the country. I've made multiple 7 figures through the things that I'm going to teach you today, and I have a $6.3 million rental portfolio that we've gotten in the last year, and over 120 real estate transactions in the last 3 years, most of those coming this year and last year. So really dialed it in and honed in our processes and systems. I've been on some podcasts, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, like Disruptors podcast, RJ Bates, Pace Morby, and those guys. And then really good friends with some awesome, awesome people in our industry, which I'm super thankful for because of masterminds that I'm in and being able to be around really, really good people. This is the most important thing in my life, though. And this is what I want for everybody here. This absolutely takes the cake here, is that like for me and my family and my kids, the fact that my kids get to come with me to closings. They came with me on Friday, this past Friday, to a closing. All 3 of them, actually not all 3, I got 4. 3 of them, it was crazy. But they came with me. And so sometimes I'll like FaceTime my daughter, and she'll be like, and I'll be in front of a house, and she'll be like, Daddy, are you buying that house today? And it's just normal. Whereas when I grew up, that was not normal. When I grew up, owning a house was a major luxury that I didn't think I would ever be able to do. And now my daughter is like, hey, Daddy, you just buying that house today? And then like I'll be like, oh, we got this beach house, and they're like, oh, nice, is that our beach house? Where are we going? Like, it's really cool to be able to do that, and we've gotten a lot of that with creative financing that I'm going to talk about. This is my family here. I am missing. We just got new family photos, and I'm missing the ones with my new son, which is crazy. So we've got 4 and a newborn, and so that is why I do this. That is why I do this. Now, thank you guys for like sticking through that part. Let's go ahead and like dive in. Okay, so we're going to dive into the nitty gritty of this. And this is the important part, because like a lot of times you get on these calls and people just blah, 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 but like I want to give as much value as I possibly can that says, hey, you can actually get started with this without actually like from what you learned today. And that is my goal. So we're going to start with when it comes to doing like what I'm doing, we're going to start with number one, you got to have the conversation. All right, let's see what the next one is. You got to have the conversation with people. And so we're going to dive into the sales aspect as we get started right here, the sales aspect of what we're doing. But I want to break down like, how do you make, because there's two parts of this, how do you make the now money? The now money is going to come from the sales aspect. And then like typically what people know as what's called wholesaling. So the wholesaling is what I've done for, and this is not the only thing we do. I say you should not be a one-trick pony. Like it's not the only thing you do. But wholesaling is what happens is you find a seller, you negotiate a deal, you secure a contract, find a buyer, assign your contract, and manage the deal. Now, let me break it down for you. When I find a seller, let's say I go to Jim and I say, hey Jim, I love your house. Your house is probably worth $300,000, but because of the condition it's in, it needs repairs. $200,000 is a little bit more realistic. So for you to just walk away, for you to just go and not have to worry about anything, for you to not have to worry about the property. And then Jim goes, okay, I'll take $200,000 for it. I get what's called contractual interest from Jim. Jim gives me contractual interest by signing a wholesale contract or an offer to purchase contract. I have the right to be able to market. I have the right to purchase Jim's property at $200,000. So then what I do is I go and find a buyer and I say, hey, Charlene, what a random name. Hey, Charlene, I've got this property over here for $220,000. The rights to buy this property for $220,000. Now it's worth $300,000 when it's all fixed up, but you can buy it at $220,000 and then you can flip it and then you can sell it for $300,000. And Charlene says, well, you know what? I like that house. I'm going to buy it for $220,000 from you. So I assign my right to purchase this property from Jim for $220,000 to Charlene. And then I make the difference. I got it under contract from Jim for $200,000 and I'm selling it to Charlene for $220,000. So that's what wholesaling is. Now, the way that I got that is because I went to Jim and I created a win-win situation with Jim. Now, this is really important. We're going to talk about how I found Jim on the next section, but the conversation that I had with Jim, and I got this from a guy named Eric Brewer and Joe that are fantastic. They're in my mastermind. Typically, you want to go to Jim and you have an offer in mind based on the 4 pillars of motivation, which are the condition of the house, the timeline in which they want to move, the motivation in which they are, the reason why they want to move, and then the price that they want for the property. Now, this is typically, people think about the price being the most important, but that's actually the least important. The most important is the motivation for them, because they've got a reason. Maybe they're going through a foreclosure. Maybe somebody passed away. I've talked to people who are like, my husband passed away in this house. I can't be here anymore. And so then you have people who are like, I'm getting the divorce. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I don't want any part of the house anymore. And so then the motivation really dictates the price at that point, because then that dictates the timeline. And then the condition is what helps us to know how much can we actually pay for this house. The price doesn't really matter when it comes to what their offer is. And a lot of times we think it does. So then what happens is people typically structure what's called an MAO, a maximum allowable offer. What's the maximum that I can offer Jim? Is $200,000 the maximum I can offer Jim? And one of the things that I learned is flipping that on its head. What's the lowest acceptable offer I can offer Jim? Not because I'm a jerk and not because I'm sleazy, but because I've created so much rapport with Jim that Jim trusts me enough that I could be honest with Jim and go, hey, Jim, your house is actually this, this, and that. And honestly, instead of that 200, I probably am going to need it at like 150, which most people would be like, get out of my face. This is dumb. But because I've created such a good relationship with Jim, I've earned the right to make the lowest acceptable offer with Jim. And even if Jim doesn't like that offer at 150,000, Jim can go, you know what, Devin, I like you, but I don't like that offer. And then now Jim and I can negotiate. So then we create win-win situations here with Jim. If Jim wants out of the house fast, if he doesn't want to make any repairs, if he doesn't want to deal with the headache of all that stuff, then the convenience that I offer him is the fast cash, because the lower I get, the bigger the discount I get for Jim, the easier it is for me to sell it to somebody else, which helps Jim because ultimately I sell it faster for him. So I want to create the situation where instead of making a maximum allowable offer to Jim, I'm making the lowest acceptable offer because I understand his pain. I understand what he's going through. I understand the solution that I could bring to him and create massive value for him that allows him to trust me. And that's really, really important. Now, here's how I negotiate these conversations with Jim. A lot of times, like I'll talk to Jim, and here's kind of how we break it down is, we'll talk to him and we'll say, hey, why do you want to sell? What do you want the cash for? Are you going to go down to the beach and retire and drink some margaritas with your toes in the sand? Or Jim, do you have some debt that you need to pay off? And sometimes Jim will go, I got some credit cards I need to pay off. And that helps me to have this conversation to understand the pain that he's going through. And then I go, okay, how long have you been thinking about selling, Jim? How long have you and the wife been thinking about this? And so even just like a little more context too, I get a lot of this stuff from a guy named Eric Klein, great guy. So we've contextualized different ways to build our scripts and to build our conversations with people. Jim, what are you going to use the money for? As you build these relationships, Jim begins to open up about these. Now, some of the things I never talk about with Jim are, hey, Jim, tell me about some of the upgrades you've made on the property. And the reason why we do that is because I know Jim's house needs work, but the moment Jim starts talking about upgrades, Jim's like, oh, let me tell you why my house is worth so much more than people want to offer me for it. We don't want him to be in that mindset. Sometimes I'll go, oh man, I see Jim, this is a 1970s house. Does it still look like 1970s? Does it still have popcorn ceilings? And then I'm like, oh man, okay. All right. Well, I know that's not the greatest, but we'll see. And so then now what I'm doing is instead of Jim telling me all the great things about his house, I'm going, oh man, that's a little tough, Jim. That's going to make it really hard for us as we come through. And if we're going to flip it, all the extra work we have to do to it, or if we're going to wholesale it or sell it, what somebody else is going to want to be done with it. Another thing that we like to focus on is like, hey, Jim, I'm going to give you an offer, but I'm not the one that makes the offer. It's my team. And I joke about people. I go, although I own this company, Jim, I am not responsible. I've got smart people on my team. I'm not the one that's responsible for the money. They make that decision. And so I'm going to try to get all the information I can from you, man. And I'm going to go back there to my team and I'm going to see what they approve me for, because then it's me and Jim against my team. And I go, Jim, I'm going to fight for you. Jim, I'm going to see what I could do to make sure that I get this across the finish line for you. And then Jim's like, yeah, do what you can, Devin. And I'm like, I got you, Jim. And then we've got this partnership and we're in this together against the big bad team in the back. And so it's really, for us, it helps when we create this me and Jim against the world type of thing as I'm trying to negotiate with Jim and make an offer with him. So I try to create these win-win situations. I address his pain and figure out how I can most effectively bring a solution to it. Now, here's the second part to this. Y'all need to stop spending money on marketing. Marketing can be so expensive. And if I showed you, I say that, but if I showed you how much money I spent on marketing, you would probably be like, Devin, what the heck are you thinking? So I'm going to walk you guys through, and I've done this a little bit in the boot camp already, but since there's people here, I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how I get free leads through foreclosures. Oh man, I'm like all over the place with this thing. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys one of the best things that I do. I wonder if y'all can see this. I don't think you can. Okay, cool. So one of the things that I do is when, let's say I am looking for a property, right? Oh, did my computer just freeze up? That's a tough time for a computer to freeze up. Okay, let's say I am, all right. I think you guys can see that. Okay. So for us, we do a lot of foreclosures and we're going to talk about, this is great. We're actually going to talk about the foreclosure script and having that conversations with people. So a lot of times when we go through this conversation, we go through these foreclosures. This is how we find them. So I go on charlotte.com, I'll go to auction.com. I'll look up Charlotte, North Carolina, or wherever your area is. I'll go ahead and click here. And what happens is when a foreclosure happens across the country, there are so many foreclosures. I know just in Charlotte, it's North and South Carolina alone, there's about 115 foreclosures, anywhere between like 80 to 115 foreclosures a week. New ones coming onto into the foreclosure system. And so what happens is there's so many that these banks can't handle it. And so they outsource their foreclosures. They outsource the cases to local foreclosure attorneys. And these foreclosure attorneys by law have to broadcast when they are assigned one of these properties. And so sometimes they'll do that in the newspaper. They'll do that in the county. And then sometimes they do that online. And I'll show you. So Here you can go to foreclosure contact info, and if you go to Brock and Scott PPLC, you can check. You can actually go to Brock and you know what? Let me just do it right here so you guys can see it. You can actually go to Brock and Scott foreclosures, and if I were to look up Brock and Scott foreclosures, you'll see that this has like a Brock and Scott search foreclosure sales right here. I'll search that, and then you can see all the foreclosures that they have going on. So 94 in North Carolina, and I can take a look at all of these. Now, here's what I can also do. Now, don't get mad at me, but this is public data. This is just what happens in public data in North Carolina. Actually, in the country, is I can go here and I can copy and paste this, and I can go to True People Search. So I got this foreclosure right here, and I'm going to go to truepeoplesearch.com. Now, there's a lot of other things I would do once I get that data. Like one, I would figure out how much equity is in that house and decide on how I would approach those people. But let's say you're just like, I actually have virtual assistants every morning come in and scrape all the foreclosure attorney websites, and they come in and then they put the information on a sheet, and then my team calls them. So like now I can come in here and look, I see this, and I see that this house right here, estimated value 297, estimated equity 297. This person probably is in foreclosure, owns this house outright. Now, that doesn't make sense, right? So they most likely refinanced, or they most likely refinanced. But what I can also do is I can come down here and I can actually look up all of the details of this person. Now, this is not me being weird or creepy. This is literally just public data for everybody. So everybody watching this, your public data in the same way is on here. So like I could see their phone number, the last time they used that phone number, last reported October 24th, there it is, and even email addresses to be able to get a hold of this person that's in foreclosure that has a house that has potentially a ton of equity. So that's a really, really interesting way for you to go out and get free leads. Now, if you're going to do that too, there's a lot of other different ways for you to engage with that person. You can go and door knock on that person. You could call them, you could text them, you could send text videos. I actually teach all of that stuff, the different ways that you could get a hold of them, because just imagine if you're trying to call them, everybody else is trying to call them. And so then how do you separate yourself from everybody else trying to call them and best use your time effectively so that you're not wasting time on people who aren't going to answer? Because if they're not answering, because right now, if they're in foreclosure, then they're probably not answering their electric bill, their car bill, their internet, all of that stuff, their phone bill, and they're definitely not answering for any other mortgage companies or bill collectors. So they might not answer your phone. So it's hard to get through them. But once you do, that's where the power is. And then when you do, let me see. I'm like out of here. Okay, cool. Well, then when you do, you need to have these crucial conversations with people. And this is what it looks like. I'm giving you guys, like, this is the sauce. What we do is we talk to people and we say, hey, hey, my name is Devin, and I noticed that the bank is on your back, and I want to walk you through the 7 options that we have to help you to keep your home. What they've been hearing from everybody that calls them is like, sell your home, sell your home, sell your home. I got cash, I got cash, I got cash, all those things. And I'm saying, hey, I want to help you to sell your home. And then, excuse me. I want to help you to sell your home. Or sorry, I want to help you to keep your home. And they're like, I want to keep my home. And so then what I do is I walk them through the options, and I've got a ton of compassion and empathy. I've got a ton of, they're going through a lot. So this is only part of our script, but we go through a lot. We have we have the conversations with them. We talk them through what's going on. We see if there's any other ways we can help. We talk about what would be most beneficial for them. And then honestly, as we go through our 7 options, they disqualify it. So it's like, okay, so you looked into a loan modification? And sometimes they'll go, yeah, we have, and we didn't get approved. And we go, dang. And sometimes they go, no, we haven't. But then sometimes it takes like 30 to 45 days. And they're like, oh man, your auction is next week. You most likely won't get approved. And then we go, oh, do you know somebody that could help you to reinstate the loan? And then they're like, no, I don't. What in the world? What just happened? Oh, and they're like, no, I don't, unfortunately. And so then we go, oh man. And so then they end up disqualifying these things themselves. It's not even us doing it. They're going through it. And then eventually we get to the point where we go, okay, well, I know you don't want to do this because we know we want to keep your house, and this would be the last thing, honestly, that we would want for you. But have you considered a cash offer for your property? It could be quick, it could be easy, and that's something that we specialize in. But at the end of the day, like, we want to help you to keep your house. And like, when I say that, I genuinely mean it. We have helped a lot of people keep their house, but then we've also gotten to the point where people just can't. And then we've helped them to keep the equity that they deserve in their home. And that's what we tell them. And then sometimes we do what's called subject to. Now, this is like one of my favorite things. And so we're going to talk a little bit about now creative finance, because this is really interesting that you could actually get these properties on really low interest rates. So great interest rates, low prices. So for instance, I've gotten properties at 2% interest rates with like $20,000 for like $20,000, and they're worth $200,000 or $300,000. And so there's really great ways to do this. Now, there's two scenarios in which somebody would let you take over their mortgage. So what a subject to is, because this is like a subject to transaction, and what a subject to is, it is actually the act of me going, hey, let me purchase your property. I'm going to give you cash for it. I'm going to pay off the arrears, and then I'm going to reinstate the mortgage. So now your credit gets fixed. I'm going to give you cash in your pocket, and in exchange, you are going to deed the property over to me. What we're also going to do, because gosh, the only people that win if I go out and I get a mortgage is the bank, because I got to go and I got to pay fees. I get a really high interest rate, and then I got to worry about like making those monthly payments, which just doesn't make sense to me. But Jim, you got a 3% interest rate, a 2% interest rate. What if we left that existing mortgage in place? I paid you, you deeded the house over to us. Now Jim's like, whoa. So then my name remains on the mortgage? Well, yes, Jim, it does. And here's how we protect you. So we've got contracts that show Jim how he's fully protected. We have a history of good payments to show Jim, here's how we're fully protected. You don't have to worry about those things. And so we are there for Jim. Now, there's two reasons why people would do this. One, they just bought the house. There's no equity in the house at all. And then they have to come to cash with closing. So I just bought one, I don't know, a month ago in Jacksonville. Let me see. I'll show this to you. Wow, I just bought two with the same first names. Weird. Okay, so this is a house that I just bought in Jacksonville, Florida. If we look at this house, we could look at the guy that we bought this house from bought the house for $229,000 in 2023. $229,000. The house is worth $259 now. So if he went to go, which is what he did, he put the house on the market. He tried to sell the house for $260, but actually, I think he tried to sell it for more, but he tried to sell it for $260. But when you think about it, $260 minus realtor fees, minus commissions, that ends up being around $30,000. If he's trying to sell it for $260, he has to pay $30K in fees and bought it for $229. Then unfortunately, in this situation, he had to come to the closing table and pay $10,000 to sell his house. So then I came in and I said, hey, I'll give you $20,000. We left the mortgage in place. The house actually rents out for $1,800 to actually $2,100, around $2,100 now. And the mortgage is $1,600. So it's a really, really good situation for us. And it's a great situation because then we were able to get a lower interest rate, a cash flowing interest rate in this day and age with little money down. I paid less than 10% of the value of the home. And this guy was able to walk away without having to worry about selling his house and paying to sell his house, which sucks. So that's an instance in which that helps people. And then other scenarios in it, if people are in foreclosure and they can't pay off their arrears, it's either $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and they just don't have the money to pay that off. And so that what happens is they go, man, I can't pay it off. I don't want a foreclosure on my record. So then I come to him and go, hey, what if I paid off the arrears, gave you some cash in your pocket, reinstated the mortgage, kept making payments every month so it builds your credit back up, and then you don't have to worry about that foreclosure, and then you don't have to worry about this house again. And then they go, wow, that sounds great. I would love to do that. So we buy houses like that all the time where we come with little to no money out of pocket because we're able to fix a situation. Just like Jim had a scenario, he had a pain. We're able to meet that pain for people. And so then you're able to have that conversation with them to be able to pitch that with them. Let me see. Do I have any questions? Nobody has questions here. So then we talk to them about it and we walk them through that process and what it looks like and kind of help them to make sure they know that this is secured. Now, the qualifications for a subject to lowish arrears, right? Like if there's a low amount of money, ultimately you want the entry fee to be low. The entry fee is how much money do I need to reinstate the mortgage? How much money do I need to pay the seller? Because they're going to want some money for the house. As long as that for us is in between 8 to 12% of the value of the home, we'll do it. It makes sense. There's no reason. if I'm going to go and do 20%, I might as well go out and get a mortgage. Instead, I'm trying to stay between 8 to 12%. Sometimes, not really, unless it's like really, really good. I don't really go much higher than that at all. Another qualification is a low interest rate. I kid you not, we have like 5 houses that are in the twos. The interest rate's in the twos. I actually just talked to somebody a couple days ago, and they were like, "Hey, I've got a house in one with a 1.99% interest rate," and they were like, "I just need the money to reinstate it." And I was like, "Whoa, 1.99% interest rate." So we have a couple houses that are in the twos, like 5. We got a lot. Most of our houses are in the 3% interest rates, and we bought them all this year, which is crazy. And so another qualification is, can it cash flow? Like that one I just showed you in Jacksonville, it actually has a 6% interest rate, but it still cash flows. So it still made sense because then I can refinance when rates get lower. And then when I refinance, it cash flows even more, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So this helps, right? This helps because I'm trying to build that long-term generational wealth, mailbox money, that residual income that everybody wants from real estate with the appreciation. It looks like you buy outside of your area. How do you know if you're buying in a good area, or do you do that research? I'm going to be honest, Eric. If it is a low interest rate and it makes sense, I don't really care. I don't care where it is, because like Section 8 has a really bad rap because people are really bad at screening tenants, but we have some incredible Section 8 tenants that I think you can have in other markets. So as long as it cash flows, because eventually, Eric, what ends up happening is like you get at a low interest rate, you get at a low entry fee, you can always sell it later because houses will always appreciate. Just like by nature, because of inflation, houses are going to improve because of inflation. So that's a perfect hedge against inflation. So at that point, it just depends on like the repairs, your tolerance for risk, and all that stuff. So for me, we do typically stay in areas that like we know are like primary or secondary markets. We don't really go into any tertiary markets with some of those because you just have no idea. I just hate buying in those markets. Now, what this also does is allow you to have that not now cash, because if we negotiate with Jim on get his house at 200,000 when it's worth 300,000, we're able to turn that quickly to a cash buyer and we make $20,000. So there's a really good way to get that now and future money. So different strategies focuses on having both of those buckets. You don't want to be a one-trick pony. You don't want to just do one thing. Honestly, you don't want to just flip. Sorry, Eric, I'm talking to you. You don't want to just flip. Flipping, like, you can flip, which is great, but I tell you, I hate flipping, and then you get held with the bag. So we're actually starting to build now. And so like just by diversifying how you do real estate is really, really important. You can wholesale into a cash buyer, subject to and creative financing is really important. You can list things on the market with installment methods or novations, refinance and keep these properties, especially if it's a sub 2 with a higher interest rate. You can refinance down. But if you're still brave, you can flip. It just depends on how brave and your risk tolerance. Now, guys, today I told you a lot. I hope you guys took notes. I told you guys how to identify deals that require no money. That was like really big. I wanted you guys to be able to figure out, okay, how do I find these deals? And then like I'm going to share with you guys, since you guys are still here, that underwriting calculator. So make sure like you DM me if you don't get it. I think you can DM me like underwriting or something like that if you guys are still here, and I'll send you that calculator or whatever you want to do to reach out to me. I'll make sure I send that to you. So I've taught you guys how to do that. I've given you the exact script of talking to sellers, the framework that you have with that for a couple things. Framework for like cash sellers, or like if you're going to talk about like for the cash sales, or the framework for people that are doing like if you're going to talk to foreclosures. So I've given you all of that stuff. I've given you the best way to get houses at really low interest rates, 2 and 3% interest rates, which is absolutely fantastic, and how to leverage your W-2 to creating wealth. Because like, let's say you save up money, you're working a W-2, and you have $10,000 to $20,000 that you can put down as a down payment. A lot of our houses we get into with like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 as our entry fees for a lot of these subject to properties. So it's not even like we're spending an exorbitant amount of money. And if you're saving because you work a W-2 and you're learning on the side, then honestly, you're able to really take advantage of that method and different methods as well. So I've told you all of these. So what do you need to succeed from here? Honestly, a laptop, a cell phone, and honestly, the belief that it's possible. That is so huge. just by doing these simple steps, you could build the income, life, retirement, whatever that you've always dreamed about. But you shouldn't do it alone, because like I think strongly, for me, the I have spent an absurd amount of money on the masterminds that I'm in. One of the masterminds that I'm in, it cost me $30,000 a year to be in, and I've been in like 3 of those. So it I have spent the money and done what I've needed to do to make sure that I've put myself in the right places around the right people to make sure that I'm successful. And that is super important for me. And so I think that you all don't have to do this alone. I want to be there to help you guys. And so I have a community, and I got a free Facebook group for you guys to join to do that. I also have a free, it's like I had a school community. I still do. I still have a school community. I'm trying to transition it. I'm trying to figure it out. So join the Facebook group, or just like message me and I'll point you to wherever you should go to join the free communities, because I want you to be there. I want to give you the value. I want to help you as much as I possibly can. It's hard to do that if like we're not in the same proximity together. Now, since you've stuck around, I know that you guys are serious about actually doing this. I know that that's something that you guys feel like you can do. You can grow. Like you guys want to grow in this. I saw a lot of 3s, 2.5s, some 1s in there from earlier. My question of like, where are you? Like, who do you think, like, what part do you think you are? And so I want to introduce you guys to what I have called the REI Legacy Academy. Now, the REI Legacy Academy is not just like, oh, hey, here you go by yourself. Go and learn this stuff, and and that's good for you. But it's a lot more than that. And like, stick around, because I will surprise you with like everything that it comes with and what it is. And so the REI Legacy Academy is 100, not like a couple, 100 in-depth videos plus contracts, spreadsheets, scripts, everything you could possibly think of. All my contracts and legal documents and templates. You guys get to be in a community with me. You get to be in a community with other people like-minded that are doing the very same thing as you. Weekly coaching calls with me, like every single week. We are in there together. Live recorded calls, role plays, live calls from me talking to sellers that you can listen to and dissect. Like this week, I'll be on the phones this week, next week, talking to sellers, and direct access to my phone. Not even joking. Direct access. You guys will talk it, like you ask me questions, I will answer those questions and get those back to you. Now, you're probably thinking like, Devin, shoot, here it comes, and this is going to be crazy. This is going to be something that's like $5,000. And so like I really thought about this, and I was like, man, if I really want people to build generational wealth, if I really want people to grow and learn how to do this, should I charge $2,000? Nah, I'm not going to do that. Because if I come from a single mom, 3-job, 2 kids, and I really believe that everybody should have this, should I charge $1,000? And I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. And so then I thought to myself, well, how can I make this so that everybody could possibly have this, so that everybody could get this? How do I make sure I get this in the hands of everybody? Do I charge $500? And I said, nah, not that either. I want people to have access to this. I want people to be able to take advantage of this. I want people to be able to leave a life of legacy. And if I truly believe that, then maybe I should charge $200. And then I thought, no, even that's too much. So if you guys want to join this is a community where I have like, I'm going to show you guys in just a second. The price for this is $97. Now, this is going to be a monthly price, but this is $97 for you guys to join this. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys to go here and check this out. So I'm putting the link in the chat. Dang. I guess I'm putting the link in the comments on Instagram. But also, if you go to REI, if you go here, reilegacy.com/wholesale. If you go, oh shoot, I'm not even sharing it. If you guys go, oh, what just happened? Whoa. If you guys go to reilegacy.com/wholesale, it'll take you to here, and then you can actually click this join the community. Oh, it keeps taking me to the to there. Join the community, and it's going to take you right here where you just fill it out. And once you fill it out, you pay that $97, and I'm going to show you guys what you get access to. So like, not only are you going to get access to, honestly, a bunch of really, really awesome stuff, I'm going to show you. You're going to get access to a community. Oh man, I thought I had. Let me show you right now, because this is like one of my favorite things. You're going to get access to this community, and it's an amazing community with a bunch of people that have been in it, or that are in it, that we're actually moving over to a different, from the different platform into here. But you're also going to get access to all of this. So this is like the wholesale legacy, live calls, seller calls, foreclosure rescue, all of that stuff. You're going to get a ton of access to, I mean, like really all you can think of. Look at all this data, skip tracing, SOPs, exit strategies. All of this stuff is in here for you guys to have access to be able to dive into right away and for you to be able to grow in. We're also going to do weekly calls with me and you, like with me and everybody else that's in there. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you guys get access through an app to be able to talk to me every week, to be able to ask me your questions, and I answer your questions directly to you, not to a bunch of people, but directly to you. So if this is something you guys are interested in, if you can't get to the link in the in the link in the comments, then make sure that you guys DM me so I can send you this link, because I want you to sign up. I want to be there with you. I want to help guide you through this. I want to help you to not be alone in this journey. It is super important that you aren't alone in this journey, but that we're in this together. We're making it happen and we're working together. Now, what I'm also going to do is, this is not something that stays forever. I'm going to shut this down. I guess Monday at midnight. This gets shut down. I can't handle too many people in here. So I'm going to make sure only the right people in here. And only the people that take advantage of it are in here for $100, which is crazy. Absolutely insane for all of my courses, for coaching weekly, all of that stuff. Insane. I want you guys to have it for, honestly, I did the math and it's like for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. For less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, you guys could get into this coaching where I will dive in and give you all of my secrets. As you saw, like that's everything. I don't hold anything back. And hopefully you see from this that I don't hold anything back. I want to be there and I want to give you as much possible value as possible. I want to show you like what, oh, can I, oh yeah, share screen. Oh no. Yep, I'm going to show you guys again. So I'm going to show you that, okay, cool. Yep, right in here, right? Like I'm going to show you all of this stuff, my scripts, my contracts, software, spreadsheets, calculators, charts, everything. This is coming soon, but it's all in there. All of this stuff, live role play, 30, 60, 90s for my team, everything for you to help you to scale your business that you're doing right now to get to the next level. And so that's just one section. And then you have the foreclosure section, right? This is a whole mini course on foreclosures, all these live coaching calls, all of these seller calls. Look at these seller calls. This is me talking to sellers in different, with, you know, like subject to, oh shoot, it's not in there right now. I'll put it in there. But subject to sellers, seller finance sellers, cash sellers, installment sellers, all of that in there. So I want you guys to have it. I want you guys to be absolutely dialed in, and I want us to do this together. And so, honestly, let's freaking do it together. So if you guys are still, oh shoot, am I still live? I think I'm still live, but I don't know where my thing went. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys join, because Monday night, this is going to be gone. It's going to be gone forever. I would love for you guys to be there. I'd love for you guys to join. I can't wait to see you there. If you guys have questions, DM me. You know that like I'm an open book. Please feel free to DM me. Please feel free to answer your questions. Again, like it's in the chat, wherever you are, it's in the chat. And then also wherever you aren't, it is reilegacy.co/wholesale. That should take you to the main page that then takes you to the checkout. So I'm thankful that you guys are here. I hope you had an incredible night. I appreciate your time, your attention, because at the end of the day, your attention and your time are the things that the only assets that you have in the world that you never get back. And so I appreciate you spending that with me. I'm super, super thankful. So that is it for tonight. I appreciate you all. Also, I'm doing a giveaway. I'll send out a link. If you guys are here, I'm going to send out a link for a giveaway for 4 weeks of one-on-one coaching with me. So I'm going to send you guys out that, which is really cool. I want to help walk you through this stuff. Like I want to help you to get to the next level on all of this stuff. So I'm going to send a link for that as well to everybody that's like subscribed to the email list or any of this stuff. So make sure if you want that link, send me like a DM for a giveaway, and I will actually send you the link for the giveaway so that you could be a part of that as well. So again, I am so thankful. I appreciate you guys so much. If you have registered anywhere with me, you will be getting an email in 5 minutes that sends you the link to be able to sign up and register for the coaching. And guys, I'm so thankful, eternally thankful. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and your attention, and I hope you have a fantastic fantastic night. And as I like to say, to great success and even greater impact. Peace. Oh, shoot. I'm still live. Why does this do this? This is awkward. This live stream thing is really messing me up.